All right, let's talk about something that's basically jumped right out of science fiction and into our headlines. We're talking about AGI, and we've found ourselves at a huge crossroads.
For the longest time, AGI, that's artificial general intelligence, was just, well, the stuff of movies, right? It was this fun thought experiment, something you'd read about in a novel, but it always felt so distant, more like fantasy than something that could actually happen. But something's changed. And I mean really changed, especially in just the last couple of years. The whole conversation has shifted. If you listen to the experts, the people actually building this stuff, they're not talking about it the same way at all.
Yeah, we're way past the point of arguing if AGI will ever happen. The question now, the one that's really staring us in the face, isn't if anymore. It's what. When this thing arrives, what kind of world is it actually going to create?
Okay, so let's get into it. How did we get here? How did AGI go from this, far-out dream to something that people in the know are calling a near-term reality?
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that huge shift. The debate's basically over. Nobody in serious circles is really entertaining the idea that AGI might never happen. Now it's all about when.
All right, to really get why this is such a big deal, we need to be super clear on what we're talking about. So on one side, you have narrow AI. That's what we have now. It's a specialist. It might be a genius at playing chess or incredible at spotting patterns in data, but that's it. It can't take that skill and say, write a poem. AGI, on the other hand, well, that's a whole different animal. It's a generalist.
And that's really the heart of it. AGI isn't just a better tool. It's not like a faster calculator. We're talking about a brand new form of intelligence, something that can learn and reason and adapt across pretty much any field a person can, but at a speed and scale that, well, our brains just can't comprehend. And this is why it's become so urgent. I mean, think about it. It wasn't that long ago that experts were saying, oh, AGI, that's centuries away. Then suddenly it was a decade or two. And now you're hearing some of the top people in the field say it could be just a few years away. This isn't some future generation problem anymore. This is happening on our watch.
So now that we've kind of set the stage, you can see we're standing at this massive crossroads. Let's look down one path first, the really optimistic one. The dream of abundance, a world where AGI solves our biggest problems.
In this version of the future, AGI isn't just your personal assistant. It's like a universal solution engine. Just try to imagine an intelligence that could literally figure out how to cure diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's, or one that could come up with actual workable plans to fix climate change, or even just totally redesign how we make and get things so that nobody has to go without. It's huge. And if you automate almost all the jobs, the whole foundation of our society just shifts. Think about it. If you didn't have to work to survive, if your basic needs were just taken care of, what would you do? People could finally be free to focus on creativity, on learning, on connecting with each other. Life wouldn't be about just making a living anymore. It would be about making a life that actually means something. But is it really that simple? Of course not. And this is where we look down that other path. And this one starts with a pretty stark warning from history that makes you question that whole paradise scenario. Okay, check this out, because the parallel is fascinating. Take ancient Rome. They got this massive influx of free labor. Slavery, right? Which led to huge unemployment for Roman citizens. So what did the state do? They gave them bread and circuses, free food and big spectacular games to keep everyone distracted and happy. And what happened? People stopped caring about politics, they checked out of civic life, and democracy just faded away. Power got concentrated in the hands of a few, and the republic fell. Now, the worry isn't that we're going to have gladiators again. The real concern is that the underlying forces are the same. You've got abundant free labor, this time from AGI, which could lead to mass dependency on the system. And you've got immersive distraction on a scale the Romans couldn't even dream of. Could that lead us down a similar path? A kind of slow, comfortable slide into irrelevance? And there's a name for this potential future: technofeudalism. And it's not some kind of violent, boot-on-your-neck dystopia. No, it's something way more insidious. It's a comfortable cage. This chart just lays it out perfectly. Instead of slavery, you have AGI and robots. Instead of free grain, you have something like universal basic income.
And instead of the Colosseum, you have hyper-personalized, immersive entertainment streamed directly to you 24/7. So what does society look like then? Well, it could get really stratified. You'd have a tiny elite at the top, the people who own the AGI. Then maybe a small buffer class, influencers and managers who keep the system running smoothly. And then everyone else. The vast majority totally dependent on the system, with their lives quietly managed and optimized by the tech that the elite controls. And this is the really tricky part. The control isn't obvious. There are no stormtroopers on the street. It's all done through optimization. Your friendly AGI assistant is just nudging you to make the best choices. The best food, the best career path, the best entertainment to maximize your happiness. It doesn't feel like control. It feels like help.
So, what do you actually lose in a world that's perfectly optimized for you? Well, for starters, you lose the freedom to make mistakes.
You lose the freedom to be irrational, to do something totally illogical and spontaneous, just because you want to.
And maybe the biggest loss of all, you lose the freedom to fail. And that's critical, right? Because making mistakes, messing up, failing, that's how we learn. That's how we grow as people.
And that brings everything back to that crossroads. It brings us to the final, fundamental choice at the heart of this whole thing. So here it is, the big trade-off. On one hand, the promise. A world with no more poverty, no more disease, no more scarcity. Sounds amazing. But on the other hand, the price. We might have to give up the things that actually make us human. Our flaws, our weird choices, our freedom to be messy and imperfect. And that's the question technology can't answer for us. We have to answer it for ourselves. Is a perfectly optimized life worth giving up our autonomy? Is that comfortable cage worth losing the messy, unpredictable, and beautiful struggle of what it means to be free? The answer we come up with, well, it's not just going to define the future of technology. It's going to define the future of what it means to be human.